Hello, this is chapter 149 of The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. All rights to both the book and this presentation are reserved. But as I've said before, we have no reservations at all about inviting you in if you brought your good heart and your good intentions. Because those are the people that we're hoping to reach through the atmosphere, through the air, past all that's negative, to reach. We'd like to reach you. We'd like to give you time of rest, relaxation, and a story so that we can fill up your cup with 8 minutes from us. And you can spend whatever of those 8 minutes on the person in your life who needs it the most. Or just a random stranger and a random act of kindness that'll take you just a few minutes. Okay, here we go. Me and my idealistic self. The next chapter is called Chapter 149, The Arc de Triomphe. Philippe's words brought her around like a bucket of cold water, so she changed her expression and tried to understand what he was up to. He had never once led her astray. She still asked, "Philippe, what are we doing here? Uncle Aki will be expecting us." "Don't worry, he knows what I'm up to. Just follow me." And he walked up towards the beautiful arch. When he got to the arch, he walked right into the center of it, and Marie followed him. Once there, he started a history lesson about the arch. "This," he said, "is one of the most important landmarks in all of France, and yet it seems to be a place where the history of France changed. The arch was built by Napoleon in anticipation of a great victory, and yet France has not won a major battle since then. No one has ever marched triumphantly under this arch. I'm hoping against hope today to change history." He reached into his pocket and he drew out his hand, clutching something so tightly that his knuckles were white. As though everything he was doing was not incomprehensible enough, he did the most unexpected thing. Philippe dropped to one knee and he said, "On New Year's Eve, when Michaud and Suzette announced that they were going to have a baby, I suddenly understood what that crushing weight on my chest was all about. I realized how much I was missing you. I had dreamt of kissing your beautiful face for months before that. All my stupidity and fog lifted, and I could see the road I wanted to travel in my life. Not just the road, Marie, but the companion I wanted to travel with. Marie, I cannot see one reason why you would settle for someone like me, but I would judge myself a coward for the rest of my life if I did not take this opportunity to ask you to marry me." Philippe shyly looked up into Marie's face, and then he burst out laughing. Gone was her Neanderthal face. In its place was another of the faces that Bertie had so aptly described. He called this one her goldfish face. His laugh broke his tension, and he went on, "No matter what you say, know this. I will love you for the rest of my life. I will always be there to help you if you need me. I will look out for you. I have to take my shot, though, and so I ask you again, Marie, will you marry me?" This time he extended his hand, and sitting on his palm was an antique ring with a diamond, flanked on either side by emeralds. When she still said nothing, Philippe began to babble. "This is my grandmother's ring. I asked my parents if I could give it to you. My father actually cried with joy. My mother will probably crush you. She has the boniest hugs, but she will always love you like she loves me, Marie, if you say yes. But they know that even if you do not say yes, they must love you for my sake. They have agreed. It's all set. What do you say, Marie? You're killing me. Say something." It was Marie's turn to do the unexpected. She dropped to her knees in front of him. She took his face in her hands and she said, "You love me? You love me? Oh, Philippe, I never thought I would ever get married, ever. Then I met you, and it did not seem so impossible, except I was certain that someone as wonderful as you are could never, ever love me. So I must ask you, are you sure, Philippe? I would never survive if you were to change your mind and not love me any more. I know I wouldn't. So, Monsieur de Patou, be very certain before you answer this question if you care for me at all. Philippe, will you marry me and love me forever?" Philippe gasped for air and he responded, "I asked you first." "Fine. I love you, Philippe, and I will be very proud to be your wife." "Fine, Marie, I love you too. I will be very proud to be your husband." Marie put out her hand for a handshake to seal the deal, but Philippe grabbed her hand, and then he grabbed her other hand and he slipped the ring onto her finger. Then he pulled away into an embrace that ended in a kiss. "Oh," he said, "if you don't like this ring, I'll buy you any ring you want. My father said that he'll give me a loan." "Are you reneging already?" she said. "You're never getting this ring off my finger." Philippe grinned, and he jumped up, and he pulled her to her feet. He marched out of the arch like a rigid toy soldier from the Nutcracker. Then he turned and he marched back to Marie and through to the other side of the arch, and then he marched back again. Marie looked on with amusement. "What on earth are you doing, Philippe?" "I'm declaring victory," he said with his endearing grin. More horns honked as they kissed once more and then kissed again. "A victory celebration," he told her, with his forehead pressed against hers. That's the end of chapter 149. We're off to 150, A Bright and Shining Future, for our next read. We hope you'll be here for that. Please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing, because we still don't know how to find you, and it would be the best way to come back. Thank you. Bye-bye.